Hello, this is Angel Trejo from your graphic and design class, and today I'm working with the assignment based off of copyright and the copyright usage rules for such as for like business or educational purposes. So from what we know, copyright is the unfair use of somebody else's original work or creations such as, artwork. It can be pictures, maybe just simple data, probably a research paper that somebody did, and someone else uses it towards their advantage and claims that it's theirs. They use it as an original, piece of work, when in reality it's not even theirs, and they just took somebody else's hard work and ownership from it. So, mostly when people do use when they copy other people's work or they use theirs as an example, they usually cite where they got the work from. Let's see, they do many things. They most importantly is that they cite it, or maybe they might recommend it to somebody, and you're probably with a friend, um, and you're like, yeah, you need some help with an assignment, and you refer to that guy because he has very useful information or contextual statements that might help you out. So you might pass them on to your friend, but you always cite who did it and whose copyright it is. For example, you may have Diary Wimpy Kid, which is a very popular book for many children up to high school kids. Um, so you may have a copy of that book, but you do not have the copyright of that book. You did not personally write that book. Somebody else, which his name is Jeff Kinney, the author of Diary Wimpy Kid series, he has the copyright. You don't. You just simply have the copy of the book, and you are a reader, as of everybody else. Um, some things that copyright protects. Well, most importantly, as already stated in the beginning, would be things such as pictures, important information, essays, um, let's see, business plans. That's one big important one too. Um, yeah, it just and in many different countries, there's different copyright laws. So you must be cautious of what you do in certain places because it can either really affect you in a negative way. It might be just a pinch on the cheek, or it may be even worse. You might do some time in jail based off how bad or like what exact information you use from others without giving them the copyright that they deserve. So you definitely need to be cautious with that. Some rules, very important rules for any graphic designers out there dealing with copyright and needing to know what exact things they need to know for copyright. Um, some major key points is that it must be the designer's original work. Most of all, you can't just be a graphic designer and not show what you're made about. You're in the job for a reason. You're up for the job. You're certified. You can do it. So you gotta go out there and give them your original work. Um, you know, you gotta display minimal amount of creativity. You can't just be out there and take somebody else's whole thing, such as an essay. But mainly for graphic designers, you can't just really take their whole idea, man. You gotta like give it some of your own thought. Just put some creativity into it. That really minimizes the amount of copyright you use. So it's really beneficial to you, and it helps you as a graphic designer to improve your skills as a graphic designer. So it just benefits you in the end, and by minimizing it, you just build more confidence in what you do, what you're certified with. um I would say, from personal experiences, me, I use copyright, but I use it in the right way. All right. So let's say I'm having for history, because I get a lot of work for history, and let's say I need some important information on the Gettysburg War, or the Atlantic slave trade, things like that. Very important things in our American history, and I'm like, kind of like stuck with and indecisive on what I want to write for my essays, I can just simply search on the web, and find some ideas. That's key important. You can use that just to get some little small ideas to help you, build up what you want to write, what you want to type, what you're looking for as an idea. And instead of just copying and pasting, which I know many kids do because they're just simply lazy and they do not want to do the work, you can just get some knowledge off of that, and start building your paper or whatever you're doing. You might do an art project and you're indecisive on what you want to do. Just get some ideas and it will eventually flow together. But when I do use copyright, I usually do copy and paste many important information, but I do not use all of it. I just use some very important facts, and at the end, after each quotation or every sentence that I got from that, I simply cite the website I got it from, the author, the date it was published, things like that, to give the proper copyright to the person that did it. That's very important. Let's see. Yeah, but yeah, copyright is very, very well known today in our world, and I feel like by us I would say being lazy really affects you having to copyright in an unfair way or illegal use. Um, let's see. I know for educational purposes it's very well known, but for the business part, such as graphic design, which this class is made for, I feel like copyright, you can get your ideas from them, of course, like you can with essays and things like that. But you as a graphic designer, you gotta be, you have to have your own little idea, bro. You have to you need to know what you're doing. You have to have a certain kind of focal point to what you're looking for, so you can avoid things as that. I mean, as stated in the videos, I know that copyright goes to many things such as IP, which is very well known. For you can get certain things such as video games, movies. It's very important. You can't just really take anything from them. But yeah, copyright is very well known, and you can get into serious amount of trouble. I cannot stress this enough. I know many people that have been involved with illegal use of copyright, whether it be like them downloading a movie or getting early access to a video game. They have done with some federal time, and I really do not recommend going down that path. It's not really healthy for you. Or as a graphic designer, if you're trying to build your business, be part of an industry, you got to keep a clean resume. And I feel like also when you get your own little ideas, you have your own little focal point. You strengthen your skills personally, mentally, and as a worker. I feel like if you're able to do things on your own, eventually you'll be your own leader. You'll be a good example to your employees, whether you become a business owner. Just setting the example with it is very important. Let's see what I have to talk about more. Very important. It can also be found in newspapers, novels, any forms of writing, whether you can print any sorts of things. Those are the main points where you can get your copyright from. Let's say you read the newspaper in the mornings and you get, you're typing your essay as a student. Let's say you're a student. You have to always ensure that you make your citations, whether it be the New York Times newspaper, the Houston Chronicle, which we are from Houston and we read very much. Well, I don't read it, but my grandparents do. So, you have to ensure that you cite your evidence properly. So, you give credit where it's due, because that's very important. They work very hard for what they did. So, the least you could do is give them the credit on what you got your idea from. But yeah, ensuring, and I feel like teachers around the world should be more strict on this, because it allows their students, it only prepares them for the future. It only strengthens them for any, barriers of, difficulty that might come in life. You just simply overthink it. You're not gonna get nowhere. But if you put your time, you put your thoughts into it, you put, everything you learn, you eventually get out of it, and you eventually put up a good piece of work, whether it be an essay, a sort of picture. Say you're an artist. Yeah. So it just strengthens you as a human being with your skills, and it strengthens you mentally and physically, because if you're able and having the confidence, you're able to achieve anything, which helps you out. With strengthening your artwork, let's say your graphic design, it gives you more, motivation to, perfect your craft. But yeah, that's I'd say copyright should be very well known. Pretty sure you know what copyright is if you're a student, because it's talked about a lot, which it should be. So I say, be careful on what you do, what you say, what you write, what you copy and paste, what you publish, that is not yours, because that can lead to serious troubles. Always give credit where it's due, and try avoiding copyright as much as possible. And if you do, just simply cite your evidence.